Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Excellent. Might be a little bit sleepy yet, not had the coffee. There's plenty of coffee in the bag if anyone needs it. So my name is Alex Cruz. I'm the Enterprise Sales Director with Five9. I'm actually joined by Sarah Hill as well, and she'll be introducing herself in just a second and talking to a few of our slides. But definitely wanted to do a quick poll of the room, just ask a couple questions. So how many of you have heard of CCaaS? CCaaS contact center as a service? Raise your hands. Okay. How many of you have sold CCaaS? Raise your hands. Okay. All right. So we might be leaving some money on the table, and we're going to talk about that a little bit as well, how we can make some money together. If I could just get my clicker over here. Yeah. We'll start with the slides here. So as I mentioned, Alex Cruz, Enterprise Sales Director. Sarah Hill will join in just a second, and she'll also talk a little bit about herself and some ways that we can make some money together. So what we're going to go through today is kind of how we can, what is our opportunity in the contact center space, what is CCaaS, and why Five9 and why CCaaS, and also how the heck do you engage us and how do we make some money together. So those are some of the items that we're going to talk to today. So depending on which analyst you speak with, the contact center market opportunity kind of lays out like this. It's about 6.4 million agents in North America and about 9.4 million agents internationally. So together, all put together, about 24 billion in revenue that's out there to actually be gotten. And right now, depending on which analyst you speak to, it's very underpenetrated. It's about a 10 to 15% penetration rate currently. So there's definitely a lot of contact centers out there that we can definitely take advantage of and make sure that we're getting our fair share. Some of the things that basically we try to sell when we position our contact center product is an intelligent contact center. And really, an intelligent contact center is one that unlocks the customer's insights to consistently provide extraordinary experiences for your customers. A big push right now is customer experience. So you'll find that a lot of contact centers are really focused around what is that experience like when that call comes in and that agent is dealing with that customer. What exactly is it that they're going through? Is the agent able to know who they are? Are they able to transfer them over to the right subject matter expert? And are they able to actually provide a great experience over and over again, especially to those VIP customers? And that's really the interactions that we're enabling over and over, day in and day out. So when we're thinking about this intelligent contact center, what do we want? Well, basically we want it to deliver that omni-channel experience, which basically is multimodal. You're able to leverage whatever media you'd like, whatever channel you'd like. So you're talking about if they want to use SMS to interact, if they want to use chat, or if they simply just want to use telephony and have all of those interactions in one central place where your agents can take advantage and make sure that they have all the information disposable to treat that call the way it's supposed to. In addition to that, it's a center that actually arms and empowers agents and supervisors alike. So it gives those supervisors the ability to see into that contact center, have metrics, be able to gauge if a call is going the way it's supposed to, if there's any emotional interaction that's going on in there, and also be able to have training opportunities and empower those agents to be the best of their potential. Also, big push is integration. So a lot of these customers, we're finding that they're integrated to some of the big CRMs, whether it's a Salesforce, an Oracle, a ServiceNow. They also have workforce optimization opportunities to have more advanced metrics into forecasting, things like schedule adherence, making sure that those agents are being productive all of the time. So within that contact center, we want to make sure that we have full integrations into all these things. And lastly, and a lot of times very much most importantly, is security and compliance. Depending on which vertical, whether it's finance or healthcare, there's a lot of things that come into play like PCI compliance, HIPAA compliance. So we want to make sure that we have a solution that's covering for all those compliance needs within our solution. So anyone familiar with Gartner? Gartner, independent agency, basically rates companies in our space, third party. So Gartner, when they look at Five9, you'll notice that we're on the top right-hand side. Basically, that's the desired spot. So at that point, you're seeing that we're in the leaders quadrant. And basically, if you were to go into Gartner and read up on what it talks about when it pertains to Five9, one of the things that they really highlight on the top of the fact that we're in the leaders quadrant is our ability to execute, our ability to actually be able to go out there and deliver on what we've promised to the customer and make sure that it's a great experience all the way through. Because of that, we've been fortunate enough to have a 99% uptime and also a 99% churn rate, meaning that customers that stay with us and are with us the entirety of their contract, at a 99% clip, they're actually going to renew that contract and stay with us because they're satisfied customers. And we attribute that mostly to the fact that we're able to execute and deliver. And one of the main reasons we're able to do that is that when you engage with Five9, and if you decide to move forward with our contact center solution, we will have a Five9 badged employee and an entire team on site for that deployment. And that is a main differentiator for us. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward. So Jonathan Rosenberg, he's actually our CEO. He's a pioneer in our industry. He's actually one of the main guys that put together the SIP protocol for IP phones. Very renowned, well-known, and distinguished. And one of his quotes that he says all the time is basically, a great CCaaS offer is a combination of three greats: great product, great uptime, and great professional services to deliver implementation. Great product alone is not enough. I can tell you, I've been around the industry for a while, and I've worked at different companies, and I have worked at some companies where there's been great product, but unfortunately not great implementation, or vice versa, great implementation, but not so great product. The perfect marriage is the combination of all three. If you have all three, you really have a game winner and a game changer, and we believe that we have that at Five9. So great product, what does that mean? This chart kind of outlines what that looks like. So Five9, where does Five9 reside? We reside right in the middle of all interactions between agents and the customers. We also enable the multi-modes that we talked about, which is voice, chat, email, and web as well. And then we also enable the agent interactions with the customer by whatever mode that they desire. So we're right in the middle with all the integrations at the top and at the bottom with CRMs as well as workforce optimization, quality management, scorecarding, every additional add-on that you can think of within the contact center. We talked about our great professional services team. This is really a differentiator for us. Again, we have a patented process that we go through on the back end once we decide to move forward with a customer, or the customer decides to move forward with us, rather. Basically, we have that project management team on site. We have a full customer support team available as well, and a platform engineer on site that will make sure that the deployments are fully customized. We'll go through a deep discovery and make sure that we're understanding exactly what the customer wants to do. We'll build that solution for them. We'll show them how to drive that solution, and then we'll ride alongside them until they're comfortable with it for about a period of 30 to 60 days, and then we'll hand it off to our customer support team. So very thorough process. Sales is fully engaged in this process. We don't just finish our pre-sales and pass it off. We'll actually be on site in that meeting. A little bit more about Five9. I'm not sure, anyone in the room been exposed to Five9 in the past? Familiar with Five9? Show of hands. Okay, all right. So our goal at the end of this meeting is that everyone is familiar with Five9 and knows who to contact in case there's any questions or where there's opportunities. But really in a nutshell, there's a lot of stuff on here that we're very proud of. One of the most that we're proud of is our uptime, which Jonathan spoke about a little bit in his quote. It's 99.991, and basically that's measured in a rolling 12-month period. So it is a very reliable solution. We have many customers on our platform today. We're enabling about 3.5 billion interactions on an annual basis. And right now we have over 100,000 concurrent seats in the space. So many, many customers on our solution, deploying the solution, and very satisfied as well. This is something that we do pretty much every single day. We interact with customers, especially here in Florida and in the Southeast market. A lot of call centers out there. So we go through our process basically, and starting with our sales process, moving into our professional services for our deployment and engagement. Then we engage what we call a TAM, which is a technical account manager. And this would basically be the main person that's focused on being in that customer's environment, understanding their KPIs, key performance indicators, and making recommendations on how they can fully fulfill their solution and take most advantage of it. And then we process also to our customer support team at the end of the mountain there and continually support their solution. There's many reasons why customers choose Five9. These are just a few. Again, talking about our personalized experience, the fact that we're innovators in the cloud space. We're highly engaged at the forefront now with artificial intelligence. things like bots as well as call deflection for your typical calls that you take every single day, where you can maximize your agent experience by leveraging IVRs and artificial intelligence. So we're right at the front. We're partnered heavily with IBM Watson as well. So definitely a lot of innovation going on there. And of course, we're a trusted partner with the customer, making sure that we do whatever we need in order for them to have the highest availability and high-touch approach. We have many customer references. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but these are just some of the customers that are on our platform that are referenceable, and they have spoken about some of the nice experiences that they had with Five9 in the past. And this is the main one for the people here in the room. So, and this is where I see that there's a huge opportunity. We win for you. So what does that mean? Basically, Five9 tracks our win rate against our competitors. And right now, we're at about 75% that we're winning against our competitors. So what does that mean? Typically, if we're at the table and have a seat there, we have a very high chance of winning the opportunity for all of the reasons that I mentioned before. What I see there as the opportunity for us and for your team as partners is basically bringing us to that table. Due to our Magic Quadrant leader status where we're at, we're typically going to be in a lot of opportunities. And the opportunity there for us is for us to partner together through TCG and through your agencies to make sure that we're at that table with you, because again, that win rate translates into a lot of money and a lot of opportunity for you and your team. So that's a bit of an opportunity there for us that we want to expand a little bit more on. And for that, I'm actually going to go ahead and leave that slide up for a second and introduce my counterpart, Sarah Hill, who's going to talk a little bit more about the money-making opportunities with Five9.
Nice job. Hi, we're excited to be here today. Thanks for having us. Alex and I both live locally, so we're happy to come with you to any customer meetings, join you on phone calls. And I think that he and I both have some good experience, and we have good references within some of this customer base that you've got. So you might have some small to medium-sized customers you're working with. You might have some larger customers, too, that you're working with. Maybe you don't really know how to get the conversation started, or once the conversation is started, where do you take it in terms of return on investment, in terms of improving customer satisfaction scores? I think really the biggest thing, the people who are in charge of these contact centers, whether they're a small business, a medium business, or an enterprise-sized business, is they have to monetize every single employee. And Five9 is uniquely positioned to do that because of all the partnerships that we have that we bring into the tool itself. So from AI to our CRM partners, any BI tool that's used by these companies, business intelligence tools, they're able to take the data that's happening real time and put that into a tool and get insights and trends into their business that frankly are not available with other tools out there, with other solutions out there. So we heavily partner with the leaders in the space. So especially in AI, we've got Google, IBM, and Salesforce partnerships. Those people are leading the AI space. So you can take advantage of that and offer that to your customers as an add-on, as a benefit. And I think this is why we're winning, right? But also to Alex's point, we're winning because we have this customer-first culture and a partner-first culture. So we're really interested in building partnerships with you, with your customers, and providing that white glove service. And Five9 is really the only company out there that's doing that. So again, we're at the table, we have on-site sessions, we can scope the project, but we can also help them identify what the real business value is of moving to a contact center. And we've done this across the board in various industries. I actually came from some bigger companies, and I've worked with some of these customers at these other companies, and I can say that Five9 really attracted me as an employee because of the way that our leadership treats our employees and also treats our customers. So we have this satisfaction rate, which is so high, but we also have a 98% retention rate. And what that means for you is that if you sell a project with us, you don't have to try to resell it 12 months later because they're going to be a customer for a long time. So you get that MRC and it's recurring, and you can count on it. So we have some average contract values. You know, it's basically $100 a seat for contact center. That's kind of the average price. It can go up from there depending on how many bells and whistles they want to add on. And that, again, all translates to business value that we can help uncover. And it sounds like a lot of money, $100 a seat, when you're talking about UCaaS products that are a bit more commoditized, and they're in the $20 to $30 range. But this provides the business value that actually pays for the project. So that's what the C-suite is really looking for, is that return on investment and the actual dollars that they can get from making that investment in their employees. Any questions about numbers? Anything you've seen out there? Is the $100 scary or something you've heard of? About right? Okay, so Alex touched on that. Yeah, and there are two different buyers, essentially. You'll have your IT people, your procurement people, and then you have your business leaders. I would say for IT, they understand the value of contact center. They might be a little set in their ways in terms of some on-premise features that they've been used to, and maybe some of those companies who are trying to deliver some of those things, like a Cisco and Avaya, they're trying to reshape themselves in the midst of the whole cloud era. But I think once they understand that we can really take IT from a cost center to a revenue generator, they start to get behind this project and they start to understand it a bit more. Also, if you're having these conversations with the C-suite and the business owners, these guys are already thinking about all of this. So hopefully you're having those conversations across the board and with both groups, and you're able to kind of bridge that understanding. And we certainly help with that too. I don't know what this slide is. It's a win story. We have win stories. Yeah, and okay, so this is a pharmaceutical company. So we do have win stories across the board in various verticals, and I think it's important to introduce that to your customers so they understand up front, okay, how have other people in my industry done this? And it's really easier to start the conversation there than saying, hey, I have this great CCaaS product for you. It's more, hey, how do you turn your agents into moneymakers and your IT department into a revenue generator? And we have webinars and all kinds of great marketing materials, and we can help with all of those stories on site. So we have sales consultants who come with us. They're engineers, but they have dealt with customers across every vertical in all of these different markets, and they have lots of stories, and we have lots of stories to help these customers understand. So essentially, and a FedRAMP is not something that we participate in, so I would say state and local level are great opportunities, but not federal opportunities for us. And then everything across the gamut in various industries works. And if there are 26 seats and over for the contact center, then you have your on-site team, and they're considered an enterprise account. So they get the white glove service, and Alex and I are involved from beginning to end. So I'm sure everybody knows how to ask discovery questions, and we actually will send this out to the group. So we have a whole partner packet that helps you understand where to start. Again, I think a story is really the best place to start, and then you can start to ask other questions, or we can be on the phone with you as well, or on site and ask these questions to help qualify what's happening. Five9 actually came from an outbound dialer. So we've got very strong IVR in our dialing. So inbound, outbound, and blended, everything is on one platform and it's one experience. So that's typically a nice story to start with too. And we have a link to register a lead. Alex and I can also help you register the leads. So you're off and running. And I would say if you have an opportunity, get that lead registered. Don't wait until you know it's going to happen, because then maybe another partner has jumped in ahead of you. And Alex and I are 100% ready to work with partners. But we get pushback if somebody has come in at the last minute and it's, hey, this deal's about to close and now I want to bring this partner in. You know, that's the only time it's an issue. So if we go in a little bit earlier together, or even mid-cycle sometimes, we're absolutely happy to work with partners, and we're really pushing that from the leadership down to the sales level. So I don't want to take any more time with slides. There are lots and lots of slides, lots of training resources, but what are the questions? We also charge per concurrent seat, which means they don't have to buy a full named license contract. So they could have 100 agents, but maybe only 80 are logged in at any particular time, so we charge for 80. And then we've also got a ramp period. And we look at the ramp period at the end of the ramp, and we only charge for the agents who are actually logged in during that ramp time. So there's a lot of flexibility in our contracts. There's a question over there?
So, and I think you touched on it, I was going to ask, when you encounter objections that have to do with the $100 receipt, what are a couple of things that you try to hold on that to balance that value?
Yeah. That's a good question. And I think it depends on who's asking the question as well. So it might be an IT person who's used to buying phone systems and doing that at a particular price point. But I think once you tell a story of, hey, these customer agents are being monetized, and the lift that you get in revenue just pales in comparison to the $100 a seat cost. And it's not only a baseline functionality that we're providing for $100, we're providing a full ROI suite. So the business trends and the customer trends and analytics that these companies are able to get out of this sets their business. This is a customer interaction. There's nothing more important than monetizing that customer interaction. So it's really digging kind of deeper and understanding where they are in their business. Yeah.
So I've seen the approach a couple different ways with contact centers. So the $100 that gets you a seat. But what happens when you need to add queues, IVRs, and things like that? Are there additional spends
Yeah.
per application, or is it when you buy the seat you have access to these features because that's part of the experience?
Sure. Yeah, there can be. There's a lot that's included with the Five9 seat. So audio recording is included, IVR is included, reporting is included. We have 120 out-of-the-box reports that are absolutely incredible. But they can also be, surveys. They can also be customized. All of these integrations, too, are included, except for there's a small fee, like Salesforce charges $5 a seat, I think, to have that integration with any software that's integrating with their CRM system. So if a company wants to add on screen recording and auditing for actually recording what the agent is doing at that point, or if there's a PCI compliant element to the solution, so there's maybe a lights out scenario, which is the agent can't hear the credit card information, but everything's still being recorded and audited, that is an add-on. So it can range from 100 to 200 a seat, depending on all of the functionality that they're looking for. But a small to mid-sized customer is going to be closer to the $100 a seat range because they'll have less to do in terms of compliance. Sure, thank you. Anybody else? Okay.
We're going to be here, so. any
Yes.
other questions?
Yeah. And again, and we're happy to talk to you about different accounts too. So if you have questions and you don't want to involve us with your customer immediately, but you maybe want to have a conversation about it, we're happy to do that.
I'll just add one more thing.
Yeah.
Just want to add one more thing, and it's on this slide. The recommended approach basically is if you have an opportunity, just engage us. Engage one of us. We'll go work the opportunity together, and you'll see what our licensing looks like. You'll see how we position our solution, and I think that's the best way for us to learn together. So definitely feel free to reach out to us. We're going to be here, the rest of the event, so feel free to, if you have any additional questions afterwards, to come up to us, and we'll be happy to answer them for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.